Unit 6, text, page 100 to 101. Listen. That's why we ended up in New Zealand. Penny and Mike Davis live in New Zealand. They both come from Britain, but settled in New Zealand nearly 20 years ago. Now they are going to be interviewed by a newspaper reporter who is writing a series of articles about British people who live in other parts of the world. Reporter: why did you emigrate to New Zealand? Penny: well, it's a long story really. I trained in London to be a nurse and also to be a midwife. Then I got a job in Kenya. It was very exciting and it gave me lots of experience. That's where I met Mike. He was an aircraft engineer. After a couple of years, the Kenyan government decided to kick out all foreign aid workers. They gave us 3 months to get out of the country. So Mike and I sat down and asked each other, what are we going to do now? We didn't want to move back to the UK, and Mike wanted to have the same sort of job. There was a choice of Australia or New Zealand. Mike was lucky to get a job in Auckland, so that's why we ended up here. What about you? Did you get a new job? Penny: no, I didn't to begin with. It was more difficult than I thought. Then when I got a job after about 3 months, the company that employed Mike went broke, so he was suddenly out of a job. Page 101. Reporter: so what did you do? Mike: well, in New Zealand you have to take what you can get. I was lucky to get a job as a salesman. The only trouble was that we had to move to New Plymouth. Believe me, it wasn't easy for us. We often thought, where are we going to get the money from to make both ends meet? Reporter: but you seem to do quite well now, don't you? Penny: yes, I suppose so, but it was a struggle while our 3 daughters were young. Mike lost his job again, and that's why he's a crane driver now in New Plymouth Harbor. We bought a little house out in the country, you see, and we didn't want to move again, especially with 3 growing kids at school. Reporter: do you ever miss your family roots and friends back in the UK? Mike: in the beginning we did, but after about 20 years here, we're more Kiwi than British now. A few years ago, Penny and our eldest daughter spent a month in the UK. I'm going to be 50 next year, and I'm going to spend a couple of months in good old England. I'm going to take our 2 daughters with me because we can't all afford to go together. Reporter: when you visited the UK, Penny, did you ever want to move back to be near your family and friends? Penny: never. We love New Zealand, although life can be pretty tough sometimes. The people are friendly. We've got the most beautiful countryside you can imagine, and with only about 4.5 million inhabitants, there's plenty of space. When I went to the UK, I felt a bit foreign, if you understand what I mean. I think you change quite a lot when you live in another country for so long. Compared to New Zealand, the pace in the UK is much faster. It's so crowded and dirty everywhere and really expensive. Give me the quiet life here anytime. Reporter: and what about you, Mike? Mike: well, I can tell you that nothing is going to make me move from here. Even if my job as a crane driver is bloody boring, there are many other things that are more important in life. Penny likes her job and is going to work full-time as a midwife soon. We've lots of mates, so what more can you ask for?